What Jeremy Broadhurst said to him is, you can leave now and be remembered for your wins. But if you stick around and lose, that's what you will be remembered for.
That's when you'll be remembered as a loser. Border crackdown. Canada turning away more foreigners. You know, you look at all this and you wonder why it's happening. Well, here you go. Trudeau's campaign manager literally splitting right before an election is going to be called.
The federal Liberal Party's national campaign director, Jeremy Broadhurst, has stepped down today.
He's a winner. He's won campaigns, and perhaps he looked at what's coming and felt that it was not a winning campaign.
And that's it right there. It's not a winning campaign. Trudeau's got to go. F Trudeau. Anybody can see the writing on the wall. It's written in big red letters, and the first letter is a big F.
Because this isn't the only challenge that they're facing. There's the situation in the polls.
Situation in the polls means you're not doing very good, Liberals. And Reuters put out an article talking about how visitors, that's right, aren't getting allowed into Canada with visitor visas. Amazing, a huge turnaround in just the last couple weeks. Canada is closing its door to more visitors and temporary residents by approving fewer visas and turning away more people who reach its borders with official documents. Canadians have prided themselves on embracing immigrants, but polls show a growing number that Canada is admitting too many immigrants. That stance is filtering down to border and immigration officers, observers say. Wow, and you see I replaced that newcomers word with immigrants because that's what they are. Thank you so much for supporting my comic book, Racist Angel, that I've done with my daughter, Galaxia. We did this book together, and it has been a passion project to put out into the world something that can't be done normally, right? We can't say what we want to say. We can't act the way we want to act. Comedy is dead. We just can't make the kind of jokes that we want to, and I'm trying to raise my children normal, right? Not where they're cloistered and held into this weird eggshell kind of mentality where they can't laugh and they can't be laughed at and they've got thin skin. So that's what I'm trying to do with Racist Angel, and you've enabled me to do this. Thank you so much. The book's past $10,000. Phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. racistangel.com. Highly appreciate it. Thank you. In July alone, Canada refused entry to 5,853 foreign travelers. Wow. Brand new news. The most since at least January 2019, according to border agency data that has not been previously reported. At the same time, Canada's immigration department is approving fewer visas. British Columbia lawyer Will Tao said he has represented half a dozen visa holders who border officials disbelieved about the nature of their plans in Canada and suggested they turn back voluntarily or risk deportation. Tao sees increased border officer skepticism stemming from a 180-degree attitude shift on immigration from the government. Then you got a guy named Mohammed Kamil Shabubu, who is a Ghanaian, whatever that is, and the dude literally had to vacate. He was told your temporary resident visa is no longer valid for travel to Canada. Booyah, see you later. Shabubu was told he was not going to Canada. Instead, he was told to return to Akaka. Bye, see you later. You know, you look at all this and you wonder why it's happening. Well, here you go. Trudeau's campaign manager literally splitting right before an election is going to be called.
They've had some open criticism of the leadership of the party, both Mr. Trudeau and the people around him in the Prime Minister's office. And, the other big problem they've got is they've tried, you look over the past few weeks, they've tried everything they can. They've thrown everything at the wall.
And that's it right there. They've thrown everything at the wall. And I think that's exactly what's happening with this reversal around the border. I think that's what's going on. They're like, hey, you know what? We are losing bad. We got to stop it, stem the tide.
See what sticks, and nothing really has. Losing a campaign manager this close to an election is a big deal. The last time I remember something like this happening was when I was much younger, working on the '84 campaign of John Turner, and Bill Lee, his campaign manager, the equivalent of Jeremy Broadhurst, left. And it was just, everybody tried to put happy face on it, but it was a very difficult moment. And of course, the Liberal Party went on to a disastrous result in '84.
A disastrous result. Isn't that what we're praying for?
To a disastrous result in '84. But this guy was a winner. You know, he was, I remember him in meetings. One of the reasons why I admired him is he was quiet and he would listen. He wouldn't speak just because he wanted to speak. You know, he was a thinker and he was always looking to the next play. Where is the puck going to be? That's how Jeremy was. And so losing somebody like that, losing a thinker like that, it's a big deal. What Jeremy Broadhurst said to him is, you can leave now and be remembered for your wins. But if you stick around and lose, that's what you will be remembered for.
That's when you'll be remembered as a loser.
Mr. Singh, when it comes to a confidence vote, are you going to vote against the government? And he refused to say that he would. So that suggests to me that he will continue to behave in the way that he did from 2019 to 2021, which is continuing to support the government and avoid an election. Why do I think that? Polling, including just polling a few days ago, showed that he has seen a precipitous drop in support. He could be losing as many as 10 seats if an election were to be held now. He'd be crazy to want to have an election now. So I understand he's got pressure within caucus saying we've got to move away from Trudeau. He's radioactive, he's hurting us, I understand that. But him moving for an election now, that would be a very bad idea.
Pretty good read on the faker known as Jimmy Dhaliwal. Posturing, trying to distance himself from Trudeau now. Radioactive. Is it going to work? Is he going to be able to gain anything from it? Hey, I know one thing. He's going to be getting his pension at the expense of us. A little bit of a bonus. I saw this little CBC snippet just a couple hours ago.
I'm Erica Morris, and I've done a lot of reporting on Quebec's housing crisis. Let's fact check some of the claims made about it. Claim number 1. There's just way more people than there are homes. Fact, over the last 20 years, the number of homes built was actually higher than the amount of new households, and that includes newcomers.
Thanks, CBC. Thanks. They trotted out this trollop. This lovely lassie to tell us that it ain't the newcomer. There you go. There you go. I'm out. It's late at night. Thank you so much for being here. Highly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to rowuncensored.com just in case. You know how it goes. And check out Racist Angel, a fantastic book I got going on with my daughter. We've passed $10,000. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. A comic book that challenges a world gone mad where we speak what we want to speak. And Alexis, she gets canceled out of heaven and she just says her piece. You know why? Because that's the type of gal she is. Thank you so much for being here. In this world, it gets harder and harder every day. You get called names. Discussion gets shut down. That's where we're at today. I felt I got to do something. And I'm a comic book creator. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put together a comic book that's going to put a little bit of parody into this. It's going to make fun of all the rules. It's going to make fun of people who seek to shut down. My daughter, Galaxia, loves art. She loves illustrating, coloring, lettering. She loves comic books, especially the Japanese stuff, the manga. So I said to her, babe, let's put together a comic book. How do we hit him? Sometimes I think the best way to do that is through parody, making fun of them. Alexis, she gets kicked out of heaven, gets to Earth and realizes there's absolutely no freedom here. She gets called a racist, and she's an angel. The racist angel doesn't understand the rules. She had her wings, she doesn't anymore. Help her get them back.